Welcome back to the Brotherhood of Men. My name's Andy R, and tonight I want to talk to you about ultimatums. What is an ultimatum? It's the demand for an action or deed that, if not achieved, has dire consequences. So, think about it in the business world. You are trying to negotiate with me to get a contract together. Say I'm a supplier, I supply widgets. I have a set amount that I want to sell those widgets for. You need my widgets in your business and you only want to purchase them at a set price. Now between us there's an impasse. I want too much for your liking and you're offering too little for my liking. So we try to negotiate. You come down, you come up, I come down. Hopefully we meet in the middle, a meeting of minds. That's all a contract is. I'm not happy because it's not as much as I wanted. You're not happy because you're paying more than you wanted, but we can both live with that compromise. So we write that contract up, it's signed, and I'm supplying you now with the widgets that your company needs for whatever product is you're making. That's how contracts work. Ultimatums, first of all, are issued by the weakest party. They have nowhere else to go in the negotiation other than ultimatum. It's a weak move, and I'll explain it like this. If I was negotiating with you and you said to me, I'm not going to pay you $1, £1 per widget, I'll only pay 1 cent, 1 penny. And if you don't like it, I'll take my business somewhere else and you can peddle your goods to somebody else. That's an ultimatum. If you don't supply it at the money that I want to pay, I will go somewhere else. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give you something that I value at $1 for a cent or a pound or for a penny. You've always got to be prepared, though, if you give an ultimatum, for the worst possible outcome. And the worst possible outcome for you is that you've gone, right, I'll take my business elsewhere, and I've gone, okay, I'll sell my widgets, don't worry about it, but I'm not selling them to you because I'm not going to sell them at a loss. So I've gone, that's it, negotiations are over. Now, if you come back to that negotiating table and try to negotiate more, how weak do you look? You've already given your ultimatum. I've called you on that ultimatum and said it's not going to work. I've gone with the worst possible outcome for you. And now you're coming back to try and reopen negotiations. You look extremely weak. You looked weak giving the ultimatum, and now you look even weaker trying to work around the fact that I've called you on that ultimatum. That's what ultimatums are. Now, in a personal relationship, it's the weakest party that gives the ultimatum. That's why you should never, ever give an ultimatum. And if you happen to, be prepared for the worst possible outcome. You've got to be in a mindset, if you ever give an ultimatum, and I suggest you never do, that you are prepared for the worst possible outcome. By the same token, you should never accept an ultimatum given to you. If somebody gives you an ultimatum, you give them the worst possible outcome because they won't want that. They're already in a weak position that they've had to give an ultimatum. The last thing they want is for you to give them the option that they least want, and that's the option you should always give. So I'll give you this scenario. Your girlfriend, wife, whatever, she says to you, if you don't do this, I'll leave you. Now, you might not want her to leave you, but she's given you an ultimatum. And as I said, with ultimatums, you've got to be prepared for the worst possible outcome. Your only answer can be, so leave. Do you want me to help you pack? Don't let the door hit your backside on the way out. Any of those answers, but you give the answer that she least wants, which was for you to say, I'm prepared to watch you walk out that door because you don't give me ultimatums. Because if you accepted it, you're going to have to accept every other ultimatum that comes later in that relationship. I'm serious, because now you've just told her carte blanche, hey, carry on with this. This is the reason why westernized governments say we don't deal with terrorists, because they know if we deal with terrorists, pay them, acquiesce to their demands, all they're going to do is then make more demands. All they're going to do then is kidnap more people or create more acts of terror, because you're dealing with them, you're giving them what they want. That's what an ultimatum is you dealing with their terrorism. So you don't deal with it. You just say, no, go, leave. If that's how you feel, leave. Because I won't put up with your ultimatum. And that's why you should never give an ultimatum, unless you don't care about the outcome. Unless you've just had a gutful of whatever it is, and you turn around and said, either you do X, Y, Z, or you can leave. And she turns around and says, okay, I'm leaving. You go, fine. Because you don't care. But when you do care, don't give ultimatums. There are so much better ways to work the problems out. Communication first, negotiation like with a contract. But you keep the lines of communication open. With an ultimatum, you shut down all lines of communication after the ultimatum's either been accepted or rejected. And you should never accept an ultimatum. So you should never, or very rarely, give an ultimatum unless you're prepared for the worst possible outcome. And you should never ever, under any circumstances, accept an ultimatum given to you, no matter what the circumstances. It's better to walk away than to accept an ultimatum, because all you've said is, anytime in the future we have a disagreement, anytime in the future something doesn't go right, all you have to do is issue me with the same ultimatum. This will happen if you don't go along with what I want. You're constantly going to be under the boot. So, like I say, my name's Andy R. This is the Brotherhood of Men. I hope you found this little nugget of information useful for you. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It can only grow with your support. So please subscribe. I hope I've earned it. Give the bell icon a smash, and that way you won't miss out on future content. And boy, have I got some future content for you. Also, give the video a like. It helps the algorithm. So I'm going to go for a cup of tea now, because I think I've earned it. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.